Hi everyone, I hope this works. I have a love-hate relationship with technology. So I'm going to do a short video today on how to connect with spirit. I'm hoping my lovely friend Jackie Smith is able to join me because she and I shared a wonderful experience together where I connected with her daughter, Lee Smith. Let me see if I can, once she comes on, I can get her to join us. But myself and Jackie met, we didn't know each other before this day, and we were both on a training course together up in Scotland, in Glasgow, I think it was. And I just was drawn to sit next to a girl similar age to me, and we just hit it off straight away. Let me see if I can get her on this feed. I really don't know what I'm doing. Might not work. If I can't get her on today, then I'll jump back on and I'll let her share her story, because she's on an incredible journey with her daughter. And we were just having a quick kind of text chat this morning. It's really, really difficult when you've lost somebody and you want to make that connection with them, because your emotions are so your emotions are so raw, and they can really cloud your intuition. It's really simple to, I don't want to kind of, negate it, but it is quite simple to connect with spirit. It's only your mind that gets in the way. It's only your emotions that get in the way. It's your logical mind, which we can class as the ego mind, that gets in the way. So hi to everybody who's joined. Hi John, you were there that day. We were all on the same course together. I'm not sure if we told you what was happening at the time, but it was such a phenomenal experience. Hi Jackie, here she is. Hopefully Jackie can join us now. Hi Jackie.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm sitting in a car in Glasgow, so apologies.
Perfect. I know you've only got 10 minutes, so I'm gonna let you talk. I just started to introduce myself to everybody, and just that moment that we shared together up in Glasgow that day was just such proof that spirit is always there for us. God, I feel quite emotional talking to you, seeing your face now, because I haven't seen you for so long.
Yeah,
And
it is very emotional.
it is, and it's just because I get asked so often when I do these posts and I do angel cards and things, I get so many messages after saying, can you get me messages for XYZ? And I just think, God, people can do this for themselves, and I'd really like to help people to know that they can, but it's not as easy as what I'm making up. So, but after this, I'll go through a how-to guide with people. But just in your own words, just share how that kind of helped at that moment in time for you and what it meant to you.
Yeah, well, I first met Anne-Marie when we were on our life coaching course, and there was an instant connection, and I knew we had very, very similar mindsets and views and energy, and you were just so comforting to me at the time. And I instantly talked to you about my daughter and what had happened, and I remember opening my book, and I was disorganized as usual, and I had gone to get a book in the morning because I knew I would need to take notes, and I just tried to find the one that had Lee's picture on it, but I couldn't find it, so I just grabbed the book, and it was all very random. And the first page I opened it to which wasn't the first page in the book. It was just randomly opened, and there was a message written from Lee in it.
I know.
And it said, "I love you." And it was just to be talking about it at that moment, and to open that, there was no doubt about it. It was a message from her, and I was meant to read that at that time, on that day. So I still have that note, and on the other side I'd written one to her, and it was just like a communication, and it was just so incredibly powerful, and I think that kick-started what was then to happen over the next couple of days, and it was just an incredibly powerful thing, and it made me realise that it's not coincidences, even though my ego jumps in a lot of the time and says this isn't happening and I'm making it up, or I'm imagining this because I want so desperately to feel it, but it's not. And I think, and I know you probably cover this, Anne-Marie, but I know that sometimes when I'm so desperate or I get really upset, that's when I can't connect properly. And a lot of the time it happens when I'm not thinking about it, and I'm not giving it that panic. So if I can relax and tune in, that's usually when it works better. And you've given me a very good suggestion about doing it in the mirror, because that was one of the things that I've frequently been told about, that soul connection with her.
Absolutely.
So I'm definitely going to try that, but I think it's not easy, but you're right, it can be done, and it's about just trying to dismiss the ego and tune in and just try and relax. And I know it's not easy because I don't do it all the time, and I do tend to, all the things that I know I should do, my meditation, my mindfulness, my tuning in, my taking time out, when you actually get at your most upset or most distressed, usually these are the times you let these things go, when in actual fact they're so important. So
it's so hard when you're in that state of mind and your emotions are trapped in with your logical mind. We tend to put up these barriers, and our energy fields are really quite in a low frequency state. They're really dense, they're heavy because of the emotional burden that we're feeling. It gets trapped, and like you say, that desperation which comes, those thoughts then come from the mind, they can be low level frequency. So if we think of spirit and ourselves in terms of vibration and frequency, we have to raise our frequency to tune into another dimension, and we have to be quite light-hearted in a way when we do that. It's a bit like tuning into a radio station, so we have to just change our focus. So when we are emotional, we are in a heavy, dense state. But those messages that came through that weekend, where you and Lee shared a song, a U2 song, and she was showing me a box, and she was saying, tell her to look in the box. And I know you were hunting high and low for this box all weekend. And we were like, oh, forget it. I'm talking nonsense. Even I was like, this is, what the hell's happening? This is just crazy. But then you managed to find it. And on the butterfly cards, she'd written the words of the song, which were, we are the same soul, it's me when you look in the mirror. So to me, that is how you guys connect with each other. You see through your eyes, but you connect into hers, and obviously there's a heart-based connection, but that's the way that you two can connect with each other. But I understand how hard that must be for you at times, if not most of the time.
Yeah, and I think.
But now you're now helping people, which I'm going to share the information in the feed. Because Lee took her own life, you have now, I know from that weekend that she is behind you, because I asked her, do you want me to tell your mum anything else? And she said no, she's got everything she needs. And that was for you to go forward and do the work that you're doing now. So just talk quickly before you have to go about that.
Yeah. I decided that on the day of the anniversary, I wanted to do something positive, because I knew that her birthdays, etc., were always going to be a happy-ish occasion because that's when she was born. But the anniversary of finding out what happened is just so tragic that I wanted to do something that was really positive. And what we decided to do was to start acts of kindness in her name and in her memory.
Yeah.
And the first year it was all very informal, but we got an overwhelming response of people just doing random acts of kindness. So we've now actually formalised that, and we have a charity called Lovely Community, and the community is online, and it allows people to share about loss and grieving, but also about their acts of kindness and how it's affecting mental health issues, etc. And we really have recently been trying to broach the subject around the stigma around suicide itself, which is a very sensitive issue, but I felt strong enough to do it this year. And we have launched the Lovely Weekends, which is the 5th and 6th this weekend, and that's again in memory of Lee. And we've sent out over 90 packs now to people. They're free of charge, and they've included cards that people can use to pass on messages to other people, kindness slips, balloons, stickers, and an acts of kindness calendar, which gives you 30 days of ideas, which people don't have to use, but it just gives them ideas.
Yeah.
And children are loving it, which is fab, because it's a great opportunity to get in really early and talk about mental health with children and talk about the impact of kindness. So it's been overwhelming again this weekend coming, and the response we've had, and I just hope that we're helping people. Well, I know we're helping people because we get so many messages saying that it's really helped people out. So, so thank you to everybody who's involved. It helps me too, because it helps me.
Of course. I mean, it just absolutely lights me up when you say things like that, because random acts of kindness is something I teach through positive psychology. You know, they've done so much science and research behind positive emotions, and that ripple effect, that random act of kindness, it goes on to the person who's received the act of kindness to then treat another person kindly. So it has an absolute ripple effect. And, you know, it was something that I thought of a while ago, and I didn't do it, is this should really be introduced into schools. For me, homelessness was a big pull for me, and I just thought it would be lovely if we could start writing messages on cards and just giving them out to, you know, I don't know, whoever really, but the homeless was my thing, because every human being needs to know that they are loved. You know, love just doesn't come from the conventional, the family. We live in a world that really, we are all connected, and there's more to give than just what we see as a boundary of family. Not everybody has family, so where is that love going to come from? The random acts of kindness, I think, should absolutely be brought to children so they can see the effect, because let's face it, the kids that are going to grow into adulthood, they are actually going to have a different mindset to us because of this type of work.
Exactly, and we will be putting together packs with the donations that we've received so far. We have the packs that we sent out for the Lovely Weekends, which is specifically for the anniversary, but we are putting together packs for schools, colleges and workplaces. So we are going to go in and we'll obviously tweak it to make sure that it's appropriate for young children, etc. But that's really where we want to start, because children just lap it up. They love it, and it's such a good thing for them to get involved in and really understand the impact that it can have. And it's totally heartwarming when you see children get involved in it, because
it is. Oh, it's just amazing.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
It's amazing. It affects the child. It's a feel good for the child, and it also affects the receiver, and it has that ripple effect as well. So that's amazing. Oh, thank you so much for joining. We'll catch up later, okay?
Thank you very much.
Big hug. All right, love. Take care.
Okay,
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Oh, right. So I hope you enjoyed Jackie's story. It was, like I say, the whole weekend that we met was just unbelievable. When she opened up her book, she was clearly in an emotional state, because I think she'd only lost her daughter the year before. So I sit next to her, we start chatting, and I say, "Have you got any children, Jackie?" And the emotions started to well inside her. At that moment, the course tutor started the course. So she just, I could see, oh, crikey, something's happened here. She opened her book, and on the book, a big, massive, I think it was a heart drawing from her daughter, and the message was, "I love you, Mummy." Mammy, I think they say in Scotland. And she just looked at me, and I looked at her, dumbfounded, and I knew instantly then that she was around. At that time, I was doing a lot of spiritual training, and I was really tuning into spirit. So I just thought, what the heck? So I just tuned in, and I, asked if the daughter was around, and there she was. And she gave me some messages to give to her mum that obviously made sense to Jackie, and it was really such a special thing to be involved in. So moving on from that, obviously the reason for this is to help people understand how they can connect with spirit. And like I say, one of the reasons for me doing it is when I do angel card readings and things like that, I get a lot of people message me afterwards asking if I can get messages for them, or can they tell me about such and such as health, etc. And I've got to be honest, it's not something that I do particularly. It's not something that I choose to do. Sometimes when I've got a client with me, it will happen spontaneously, but that's connecting with spirit isn't necessarily my line of work. What I do is I connect a bit higher than that, so I go up to other dimensions, so like angelic realms, off-worldly dimensions, and I work with kind of energy. I put more energy, healing energy more so. I want everybody to kind of get that me, a spiritual medium, a telepath, a healer, we're actually all the same. We've all got these gifts within us. It's how we choose to tune into the different frequencies available. And everybody has their own different style or different gift, if you like. But tuning into spirit, first of all, well, the biggest thing is you have to trust what you get. As you will get random thoughts, but you just have to let them go. It's a little bit like doing mindfulness or meditation. You try and be still, and then all of a sudden you'll get the word banana or something crazy like that will just pop into your head, and you're like, oh, this isn't working. No, that's just your brain just firing off. It's your ego as well. It's your mind going, you're crazy, stop trying this. But just let those thoughts just drift out, and just take the time just to find your centre. Imagine that your feet are connected to Mother Earth, so that's it's going to make you feel grounded, because when you kind of start to go off and open up different energy centres up here, you can tend to feel quite lightheaded. So if you just imagine your feet are anchored into the floor, you can imagine like roots just shooting out of the soles of your feet and wrapping around Mother Earth, and it's your anchor. Then you can imagine this is called your crown chakra, so this is energy centre here that connects you upwards to the cosmos, if you like, to source energy. You can imagine that just gently opening. You may get a tingling sensation. And then one of the biggest things that I find, because this is where your intuition really is stemming from, or to know that you're working with it, it's the gut, it's the heart intelligence. So the heart is proven to emit the biggest electromagnetic frequency of all, not the brain, it's the heart. So just imagine your heart just expanding a little bit and just opening, and the way you can do this is get a sense of compassion, get a sense of love, just feel the emotion of love. You know, we have all, if you know, experienced the feeling of love, if it's for an animal, a person, whatever, a pair of shoes,
I know that feeling. Whatever, just get that feeling of love that emanates in your heart. When you feel ready, when the mind has connected to the heart and you feel more still within yourself, just imagine, because we are literally, your brain is literally like an antenna, so it's going to receive information. We're all electrical beings, so we just want to fine tune our frequency, the station that we're in at the moment, let's say. So we literally just shift our sense of awareness. It's a little bit like when you stare at something. Let's say you were staring at a flower, and you stare at it for that long, it goes slightly fuzzy, slightly hazy. It's a little bit like that. So imagine the radio station, and it's crackly and it's just tuning in. That's what our frequency is like. So I do it by just shifting just slightly. Sometimes I will literally I will look to the side. I'm not looking for anything, but I'm just shifting my consciousness a little bit, shifting my awareness. It helps me shift my energy. And then literally just ask to speak to the person that you want to speak with, but say their name 3 times. The reason for this is there are so many spirits wanting to make contact with people. You can, if a stronger spirit comes in to talk to you, then they might lie to you. So just say their name 3 times. You can use a form of protection by stating, I only want to work with the highest frequencies at this time, and say that 3 times. When you're ready, ask to be connected to the person, spirit guide, higher self, whatever feels comfortable. And then just wait and see what happens, because everybody will experience this differently. Like, I just connected with Lee, Jackie's daughter, this morning. Even now, my mind gets in the way. And then afterwards you could kick yourself, but like literally I'll just wait to hear. Now, I don't hear a voice as if somebody were to come and whisper in my ear. I don't hear that. I just get it planted in my head, and it can come in images as well. So she'll show me images. So I'll hear her voice, but it will be like the back of me, but inside me, not out here in my ear. It's called clairsentient, and I'll get images as well so I can try and interpret what she's trying to tell me. So it's really difficult when somebody's just lost somebody to tune in, because your emotions are too heavy. You're not able to shift your frequency. It's dense. You're in that place, you need to grieve. So when it feels right for you and you feel the moment is right, try and try again, because it may, but it may not happen first time. I tried for ages to do it, and each time I don't know if I was doing it, because my brain would tell me that I was doing it wrong. So who are you gonna choose to listen to? You're gonna take the hard path, or you're gonna take the easy route. Now, the easy route is to listen to yourself, is to trust yourself, is to give it a go and say what you get. Maybe work with a friend on this, or somebody you know and you trust. This is another thing I did. I asked somebody, would you mind if I tuned into your energy and see what I got? And they'd say, yeah, sure. And then I'd get things, and then I'd feed it back to them for confirmation. That's another way of doing it. So give it a go. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. If there's any questions, because there's just a couple of people in the feed now. If there are any questions, then send them now. If not, I can't think that there's anything else I can tell you about it. I'd love to know. Are there one thing that happened? Oh, I hope it doesn't lead you. Seen been through so much emotionally. Just reading yours, Pippa, now. Yeah, we do block ourselves, and you know what? It might just be the time for you just to be still in your own physical body. I don't know, you know, what's going on for you, but sometimes we need to be grounded. If you've got a lot of stuff going on emotionally, then and you feel like you've lost connection, it happened to me for such a long time, is because you've got too much going on up here. You need to ground, and that's okay to have stuff going on up here. That's not a bad thing, but you need to ground yourself, come back into your physical body, notice the sensations, be in your physical suit, if you like, go out into nature, connect that way. I always say, if you feel you've lost connection, start by going out into nature. Start by being around the things that just you can feel that your energy changes in that presence. It could, animals as well do this to people. People feel that they can just let go and be themselves around animals. People feel that they can let go and be themselves in nature, whatever, you know, whatever scenery that you like the most. Try that. Go out into nature, ground, get into your heart space, just open up gently and see what happens then. If anybody else has got any questions, then fire them away now. But one of the biggest things is feeling disconnected. I can just tell you that you're never ever disconnected, because you can't go anywhere. You're made of the same stuff. It's all just energy. So nobody takes a big pair of scissors and goes, right, I'm disconnecting you now. It can't happen. Energy is all transmutable. The energy that surrounds the universe, that's in the universe, it flows through every one of us. We are just vibratory beings that come into physical matter based on observation, actually, if you look at quantum physics. But anyway, that's a bit random. We're all made of energy. Spirit is made of energy. It's just that their soul has left their physical body. Their physical body decomposes because it's just made of chemical matter and waste. So, but their spirit is still there, and we live in a multi-dimensional universe. We live in a multi-dimensional world, so that there are different dimensions to our universe. What we live in now, we see as a 3D, 4D projection. That's our reality. But there's a lot more to reality that we can't see. Simplest way of explaining it is microwaves, radio waves, Wi-Fi rays. We can't see them, but they're there. And they're filtering through the same energy. So spirit is just on a different dimension, and obviously that dimension has a different reality to this one. Ours is denser than theirs. So they just can't come in like a bolster and say, "Oi, I'm here." That's just not going to happen. So we have to try and shift our dense frequency to help them to connect with us. And the way we change our dense frequency is through our emotions. Simple as that. It is simple as that. Everything, your whole reality is created through your emotions. There's so much work out there that tells you about how your DNA is affected by your emotions, how the cells of your body are affected by your emotions, how your emotions interact with your DNA, which then interacts out into the energy and it creates your reality. So you need to address your emotional state first. You are having a physical experience, and that's the most important thing that you should address, is your emotional well-being. So I can't think of anything else to tell you, unless anybody's got any questions, send it through now. Okay, if not, okay, if not, then I'll leave it here. I will do some more videos on it, just to see if I haven't covered enough for you. Please let me know, and I can add more at a later date. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good day. Bye.